This is an event of the Martial Arts Studies Research Network, which is a network in which we try to bring together researchers on martial arts from different disciplines and practitioners and people who are generally interested intellectually in martial arts.
Professor Bowman has invited me and a number of scholars and specialists to talk about the role of Japan and Japanese culture in Britain in the 1900s.
Today I give a paper about Kendo history from a critical point of view. And I have been doing Kendo for 46 years.
Japanese martial arts, something I'm passionate about, not particularly academically. I concentrate on European martial arts, but at least in the theoretical work, there's lots of overlap. So I'm actually learning a lot.
One of the things I think they're doing that's interesting that might be difficult to do in a Japanese context is to draw attention to some of the historical mythologies that are created, the ways that ancient traditions actually might only be 50 years or 100 years old, certain practices that have been celebrated as unchanged for hundreds of years, in fact, are products of the postmodern Meiji government and so forth. And
understand actually what the moves, the real significance of some of the movements are that are being portrayed in the books and in Barton Wright's articles. But what interests me is the cultural context in which they were produced.
Mike told me, you have to come here.
You have to. You have the opportunity to.
Otherwise, I will be killed by Japanese sword.
It's quite interesting that Japan is so central to Western conceptions of martial arts, but Japanese scholarship on martial arts is actually quite marginalized. So we've brought over some Japanese researchers who are doing research in Japanese, and we're trying to kind of get them more exposed to an Anglophone audience and ultimately get them published in English.
Nice things about this type of international conference is people are kind of liberated from the ideological constraints that they might have to work within in their own countries. So I think it's been very promising and productive.